evening and welcome. In 3 hours and 57 minutes, it's going to be Feb 10th, and I can tell you, I just can't wait, because none of us can wait to see whether the exit polls got it completely right. None of us can wait to see if there could be any last-minute swing. And none of us, including, and I can say this confidently to the politicians, including journalists, are looking at all those exit polls to say, can you actually look at a 20 to 22,000 sample size and predict what's going to happen in a place as important, as widely spread as Delhi, the national capital, ladies and gentlemen? This result is going to be phenomenal, not just in terms of what Derek O'Brien says could be a tectonic Tuesday, but simply in terms of the opportunity for the opposition to strike back at an unstoppable Narendra Modi and Amit Shah combination. It is a mini general election. To take us through it, with me here in the studio, our political editor, Navika Kumar. Let's welcome the panel. We have a top-rated panel this time, and it's getting better with every election. Navika Kumar, Times Now's political editor, comes with over 20 years of journalistic experience, has followed elections very closely, but I give her the prize for enduring me in election after election. Navika, thank you very much.
Arnab, it's going to be an exciting Tuesday tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
What's the story without a twist? So will we see a twist tomorrow in the story, or is it going to be as predictable as the exit polls have put it out? That's what a journalist like us, always looks at with an open mind. Yes, on the streets, the support seemed to be for the AAP, but will it convert into numbers? That's something we have to wait and watch out
Navika,
for.
I don't think I'll get 40 wings tonight. It's incredible. Jay Brook, our resident cephalogist, and he gets more and more accurate every time and more confident. Jamruk said to me some time back, and he said if 10% of the votes of the Congress party swing in favor of the Aam Aadmi party, they get 47.
That's a two-thirds majority.
If there's a 5% swing, he said 41.
Absolutely.
He's got a third situation. If 5% of the AAP vote goes to the BJP, then they get 36.
Absolutely. They just crossed the halfway mark. So it is very critical whether the AAP retain the middle class vote or not.
Well, fantastic. Jay, we can't wait to see those numbers, what they finally look like. And let me introduce all our other panelists as well. Kumar Ketkar, senior journalist, flew from Mumbai today to Delhi to be part of the excitement. Thank you, Kumar Ketkar. Ajay Bose, veteran now in television commentary. Thank you very much.
It's amazing, Arnab. 40 years covering elections. Just a small Delhi election. It is like a national election. It is like a national election. I never ever remember a Delhi election creating so much interest.
I can tell you, Ajay, there's so many things to talk about, so many questions. Every day when I begin the news hour, I say I'll limit my questions to 3, but by the time I finish writing the lead story, I have about 8 or 10 questions every time. I have 6 questions today, and we'll make that the subject of today's discussion. Bursting with questions and excitement, this entire studio, I can tell you. Aarti Jairath, welcome back. Senior journalist Aarti Jairath, and seated to her right, Siddharth Vadarajan, senior journalist, columnist, former editor of The Hindu, man of great experience. Thank you, Siddharth. Great to have you on our panel. Mr. Rajagopalan gave that quote. What was right, might, and what is that? Bite?
Tight.
Fright. Tight. A tight fright. Who gets a tight fright?
Tight fright. and this is my 12th election, Arnab. From 1977 I have been covering. It's a very nail-biting. It's a photo finish election.
It is a photo
and it is going to be very, tomorrow is going to be D-Day for either BJP or for Congress or Aam Aadmi Party. It's going to be a very important election tomorrow. And I am happy to be with you tomorrow on the panel.
I'm happy to have you with us, sir. And Hartosh Singh Bal, seated to the right there of Mr. Rajagopalan, completes our panel for now. We have other panelists who join us in some time. Hartosh, day before the result, what are your 10 seconds of opinion?
Well, I think I'd be surprised if it is nail-biting tomorrow. The real question is whether the AAP...
talking of a sweep.
Whether the AAP pulls in the numbers that we are expecting, because that is what is going to make the events that follow interesting, actually.
Yeah. I think that's the point. Everyone is not looking at this election purely in terms of what happens tomorrow. People are looking at this election in terms of what's going to happen ahead. Because for political journalists, they need some excitement in political journalism. And a one-sided race is never interesting. I have 6 questions, and I'd like to put them before you to help us steer the discussion forward. And these 6 questions can be the fulcrum of our discussion over the next 1 hour or so. Though I'm perfectly convinced that even if I were to ask no questions this evening, if we were just to talk among ourselves here in the Delhi studios, we would be able to take this conversation forward for many hours, wouldn't we? But we need a fresh start tomorrow. Here are my 6 questions today. My first question, and this goes up for discussion. 6 burning questions on the screen. Our first question is very important. Will the migration of traditional Congress voters to the Aam Aadmi Party determine the Aam Aadmi Party's victory? I think this is what we'll be talking about tomorrow. Not whether, but how much. Question number 2. Can the BJP divert Because at the end of the day, nobody likes to lose. Can the BJP divert 1 in every 6 Aam Aadmi Party supporters and defy exit poll predictions? That's the important question. Question number 3. Has the Aam Aadmi Party outmatched the BJP in its approach to elections purely by being an unconventional fighting force? You can study what the BJP does. You cannot analyze or write a treatise theoretically on what the Aam Aadmi Party does. And that's guerrilla tactics. It works. Question 4, will the BJP regret? I tell you, the answer is yes. Will the BJP regret its decision not to call for elections after the Lok Sabha victory? Situation would have been totally different even up to November. And of course, things change in January. 5, will the BJP pull off a surprise win and prove pollsters wrong? Exit pollsters, don't get nervous, but this is the question you should be asking yourself. Because if pollsters are proven wrong, a lot has been spoken about pollsters by Mr. Modi himself. They are not going to be sparing pollsters in their criticism if that were to happen. Frankly, I don't think so. Question number 6. Has Kejriwal's decision to apologize for quitting been a masterstroke? Some people counted and they said about 15 to 20 times every day Kejriwal would apologize. So, ladies and gentlemen, BJP has given a perception that a vote for the BJP is a vote for Modi. Has this been the right thing to do? These are some of the questions that are on my mind. Before we begin the discussion, go to the news report. Here's a quick look at the top headlines this evening.
A mini general election that could change the way India views politics. Stage set for result day live on February 10th with Arnab and his team. Polls predict an AAP government and Kejriwal seems confident. Kiran Bedi hopeful that things could change around when counting begins at 8 a.m. on Tuesday.
17 दिन में मैं इससे ज्यादा नहीं कर सकती थी। तो मुझे किस बात की नर्वसनेस? मैंने अपना सब कुछ दिया 17 दिन में।
But can anything change on result day live? Is a surprise in store? BJP hoping against hope that it will come out trumps tomorrow.
Exit poll are exit polls, not exact polls. Exact polls will take place tomorrow.
What happens if they fail? A referendum on Modi or a collective failure? A win could be the biggest and the loss a first for Amit Shah.
सारा सेकुलर ताकत एक होकर वोट दिया है आप पार्टी को। आप पार्टी क्या बीजेपी के खिलाफ।
It's not just about a Manji mutiny, a second realignment on the cards. From Bihar to Bengal, support for Arvind as the second churn takes place post May 16th. And the action begins here on India's election news headquarters at Tuesday 7 a.m. Stay tuned to Arnab and his team, which gets you the right numbers, first and fastest on Result Day Live.
Biggest victory or the first loss? What will the BJP face in Delhi tomorrow, and will Arvind be second time lucky? In less than 12 hours from now, we promise to give you the first glimpse of what the capital has decided. Going by the projections, it's a home run for Kejriwal. But going by history, even exit polls can get it wrong sometimes. Can anything change on Tuesday? The voters consolidating about 43.
Giving 35 to 43. There is an average of 39.
ABP is also consolidating around 43.
43.
Chanakya is consolidated already
48.
around 48.
Right.
News Nation is around 47.
41.
Polar Polls is giving 42. So this is really getting out to be a little bit of a sweep.
The writing is on the wall. And the wait is on.
सच की जीत होगी, जनता की जीत होगी, लोगों की जीत होगी।
In less than 12 hours from now, their fate will be decided.
पिछली विधानसभा का चुनाव को याद कीजिए, बड़े विश्वास के साथ सीना तान करके कुछ बाजारू लोग सर्वे घोषित करते थे, सर्वे।
So are the pollsters right?
Exit poll are exit polls. It's an evolving science. But exit poll are exit polls, not exact polls. Exact polls will take place tomorrow.
Or is she right?
I'm a person who always takes responsibility. 17 दिन में मैं इससे ज्यादा नहीं कर सकती थी। तो मुझे किस बात की नर्वसनेस?
The work is done. It's a thank you for the work done.
not to the result. Result can be any.
Can anything really change on Tuesday?
Right from the beginning, I was saying so that the pollsters, the opinion pollsters who were ruling out Congress, they are in for a big shock and surprise on 10th.
Or will it all come crashing down for the dream merchants?
श्री सतीश उपाध्याय जी की कंपनियां हैं, उन कंपनियों ने ये मीटर लगाए हैं।
नहीं मोहल्ला में कह रहा हूँ, वो सिंपैथाइजर हैं।
Doing a debate with him is a tamasha, and I'm not for a tamasha.
10 फरवरी को जब इनसे पूछा जाएगा क्यों आ गए, तो कहेंगे किरण बेदी ने हरा दिया।
Be with me and my team here on Times Now on the 10th of February.
Bureau Report, Times Now.
Okay, question number 1 is on the screen. I put it across. First, let me welcome from the Aam Aadmi Party, we've got Ashish Khaitan with us. Ashish, good evening. And joining us from the BJP is Sambit Patra. Sambit, good evening. All the best for tomorrow. Let's begin the discussion. My question is simply this. Anyone expects a change between now and tomorrow? This time, anyone expects a change? Question is to our panel.
No, not at all,
Exit
Arnab.
polls get it wrong sometimes.
You know, firstly, this time they have been unanimous, which is rare because we've seen, in the past exit polls have differed. Secondly, this is not really a 3-horse race. It's a 2-horse race. I don't think the Congress figures, in people's consciousness at all.
Yeah.
And a 2-horse race in an urban setting, I don't see why exit polls should get it wrong.
No, because there are various reasons. Jay, Navika, let me just have a quick first round. You want to come in, Ajay?
Yeah. No, I actually, the only way I can see the BJP winning, actually, this poll, is if the Congress vote, instead of shifting to AAP, shifts to BJP, or the Congress vote stays as much as it was. I mean, that's the only way I can see the BJP. You see, the Congress vote is very, very important. If the BJP could take a majority of that Congress vote, then the story would be entirely different.
Okay.
Actually, I think that since the voting pattern we have seen last 1 year, we cannot say there is a Congress voter, there is a AAP voter and there is a BJP voter. In December 2013, AAP got 28 without pollsters saying so. In May 2014, we got 60 seats for BJP and 60 assembly seats for BJP. And now we are seeing opinion polls giving for...
In a lot of the traditional
I don't
analysis,
think that there is something like Congress voter, BJP voter and
last time. What I mean is that in the sort of traditional analysis that's going on, we've sort of presumed that the 24...
I think everybody is voting fresh.
No, a lot of... if that is the case, situation actually changes because the 24.5 or 6% vote that is there with the Congress party is not necessarily, not necessarily a secular vote.
No, the only change likely is AAP getting more.
To the contrary, 24-25% vote
can be there.
Need not be a secular vote. Is it an anti-BJP vote? Is it a secular anti-BJP vote, in which case it switches to the Aam Aadmi Party, but not necessarily?
But anti-BJP vote should not be necessarily secular vote. Anti-BJP vote can be simply anti-BJP vote.
I always feel a story is not over till it's over. And therefore, polls have gone wrong in the past. Yes, on the streets there was overwhelming support for the Aam Aadmi Party, but that was there even in 2013. Yet, silently somewhere the BJP did get its 31 numbers even then, when most of the euphoria was centered around the jhadu, the caps, the volunteers all over the place.
It was a 3-horse race, Navika, in 2013.
No, if I can just complete my point. The point really is that it's not over till it's over. Yes, at the moment it looks absolutely in favor of the Aam Aadmi Party, but the actual counting, what happened in the counting between polling between 3 and 6 can also hold the key, and the BJP did mobilize some of its cadres to really come out between 3 and 6. That's what they're saying, and that's the kind of feeling you saw in the BJP brass at that time.
What's interesting is the BJP's best case scenario, right? This internal survey that they've done doesn't give them beyond 35, 36.
36.
So in a sense, if you take that figure and the exit polls, the broad structure of what's possible tomorrow is clear, right? I mean, either the BJP squeaks through, or Aam Aadmi Party pretty much sweeps the elections, right? 40 plus. The real shocker would be if you have something other than these two outcomes. In other words, if the Aam Aadmi Party struggles to hit 35, or if the BJP gets 40 plus, I think those two would really be surprising, and quite shocking. But I think that's, broadly speaking, I think Aarti is right that the reason exit polls went so horribly wrong in 2013 was because it's harder to call a 3-horse race.
Absolutely.
And many AAP voters at that point were genuinely undecided about whether to be with Congress or
Congress really holds the key.
Congress holds the key, yes, please.
The votes that we can have some surety about is among the Congress voters. The Muslims who stayed with the Congress in that election have clearly moved towards the AAP. And part of it is due to the polarization in Delhi and what we've seen happening outside Delhi. And we can be pretty sure that vote is not going anywhere but the AAP. So the BJP may have damaged itself with the kind of rhetoric, both in Delhi and outside, that it's played out, basically.
Yeah, I'm going to go into my 8 questions. Your initial thoughts. Expecting a surprise. You're probably hoping for a surprise.
There will be a surprise, wait and see, Arnab, because it's going to be a very, very tight fight. It's a photo finish one. And it's a nail-biting one. And from this, one could emerge victorious. It's not going to be a sweep. Please let us not give our neck out. It's not going to be a sweep.
It's not going to be a sweep.
That's what I understand.
Can we go to
the elections? I understand.
Okay, can we go into the 6 questions which I have? My first question today, and we put it on the screen, is, and I'd like to welcome our political panel. Sorry for excluding you so far. My first question is, we're only looking at possibilities. I request our panel not to look at it in terms of, our being too stilted or opinionated or whatever you may say. We're only looking at all possibilities here, purely cephalogically. My first question is, Ashish, Sambit and Priyanka, feel free to come in. Can the en masse migration of the traditional Congress voters to the AAP determine whether the AAP crosses the halfway mark? Many of us think so, Ashish. Many of us, Sambit, think so, Priyanka. That basically this is going to be about the en masse migration of the Congress party vote. And in fact, Jay has a number. Jay says, what's your number, Jay? You say, if the Congress loses 5% to the AAP straight, it gets?
41.
If the Congress loses 10% of its vote to the AAP straight?
47.
47. Right. So basically, it's about the Congress vote. Ashish, Sambit, Priyanka, it's over to you. Yeah.
So can I go first?
Yeah, can I come in?
Okay, everyone wants to come in. Okay, Priyanka wants to come in first. Priyanka, okay, make it brief because the question revolves around the Congress.
Okay, so all I'd like to mention here is that our votes are, I'm sorry my voice is echoing, so all I'd like to say is our votes are going nowhere. And as soon as the results come out tomorrow, we would know where we stand. But I'm pretty certain, as much as Aam Aadmi Party would be hoping that the votes get transferred, it's not going to happen. We are going to retain our seats, if not get more.
Well, I don't know. Just look at Rahul Gandhi's campaign in Delhi. Each of the places that he holds rallies and road shows have a very heavy presence of Dalit and Muslim voters. For me, this is a clear indication that the Congress party is desperately trying to ensure that this does not become a reality. That your Congress Muslim Dalit vote does not go away. Ashish, how are you reading it? You think it's possible? This migration is the key to your fortunes tomorrow?
I think Aam Aadmi Party today in Delhi represents the broadest social coalition possible. We have support across all sections, from the underclass, from the more empowered ones, from minorities, majorities, backward, forward, urban, rural. And the reason for that is that Aam Aadmi Party has set new standards in the politics of Delhi. New standards, new benchmarks of political campaigning as well. Because the politics that we are practicing today is that of debate, discussion, backed by popular public opinion.
No, but Ashish, sorry to interrupt you there. It's all right what you're saying, but it doesn't add up in terms of the actual numbers. When you look at voting by caste and community, the fact is there are Brahmins, Khatris, Rajput, Vaishyas, Jains, other upper castes who are primarily voting above 60% in the last Lok Sabha elections for the BJP. I mean, you know it. And on the other hand, Dalits and Muslims are voting more for you. And there is a swing towards you between 2013 and 2014. The question everyone's asking is, and I throw this to the panel since you're not trusting me with this one, is that there is essentially a very strong community caste-wide division of votes. If that moves more towards you, you're in a good situation. Why do you want to avoid talking about it, Ashish? Don't be politically correct. Results are tomorrow. Don't be politically correct. Tell me the facts.
No, it's not about being politically. It's not about being politically correct or not. It's about what we stand for. We, one, don't believe in identity politics. Two, as I said, I think the social composition in Delhi, it may be a big factor, in the 2013 elections or earlier. But now
it seems to be the primary factor.
But listen to me. People now, I think they have moved forward. They really don't vote along caste or communal lines. People, I think in this election, people will mandate themselves.
To the contrary, they do. But I'm telling you, in 2014, you know the AAP emerged as a preferred choice for the minority vote. In 2013, there was a massive exodus towards the Aam Aadmi Party of the Dalit vote. In 2014, the trend continues with Aam Aadmi Party having more than 40% of the Dalit vote. Why are you not talking about it, Ashish? What we are saying is, can that 40 become a 50? Can the 36 become a 46? That's the big swing. You take that away.
Definitely, we command a lot of support.
Sambit, have you given up on the election that you're not talking at all in this debate so far? Have you completely moved away?
From the marginalized communities, from the minority communities.
Have you lost your sting after the day of voting? You never waited for your turn before the 7th.
Don't start teasing the Bharatiya Janata Party.
I'm incapable of teasing anyone.
I am waiting for my turn to come, and I believe being courteous is not giving up. I'm waiting for my turn.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I feel free to come into the debate. My first question is, will the en masse migration of Congress voters to the AAP determine tomorrow's results? Sabha, welcome to the panel. Navika. And the panel can feel free to come into the discussion any point of time. Navika.
With 17% Dalit population and a 12% Muslim population. Shambit, I'll just make a very small point. With 17% Dalit population and a 12% Muslim population, 29% is a sitting duck of a vote bank for the Aam Aadmi Party, given the fact that the Congress hasn't been able to exploit this vote bank. And that in itself gives the AAP the advantage that it's looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I just point out one thing? If you look at Chanakya's breakup of communities, very interestingly, 70% of Muslims and 55% of Dalits have said, whatever their survey is, that they are voting for AAP. So obviously that is the core base.
That's exactly
some upper caste vote also gone to AAP. Some upper caste vote also have gone to AAP.
That makes the situation clear for AAP.
And especially he was talking about
that is the case. I don't know how you're saying the numbers.
But Baniya votes in particular are enough.
No, but if that is
Chanakya one, if you go through that, Brahmin and Baniya votes, why did it go to them?
Sir, then how are you talking about the election being close? 64% of that vote, which is the Vaishya Jain vote, went for the BJP last time. This time, if that number comes down, that the BJP is in for real trouble. It just doesn't add up. Yes, Sabha.
Arnab, first of all,
no, because all our participants are in denial mode today about the caste and community factor.
No party can win an election in India without getting certain communities the bulk of their votes. So I do believe that the AAP would have a lot of majority of the Muslim vote from the Congress has shifted to the AAP, as would the slum dwellers, Dalits. But if the result goes on the lines that the exit polls have shown, they have also got a lot of vote across the board. So I think what they are trying to do is avoid this Muslim label, which I am sure if the BJP is faced with a bad defeat, they will say it is actually the Muslim vote. Very possible.
Do you think they'll say so?
No,
a more inclusive BJP will stay. You think they'll say so? I think they'll stay away from it. I think they'll stay away from it. Siddharth wanted to make a point. 1 minute.
I think, see, we shouldn't use labels like a secular vote or communal vote. I think, you see, Muslims in Delhi or Muslims in India, Dalits, these are groups whose members face fairly similar problems based on their identity. Right, based on, in other words, Muslims, regardless of whether they're rich or poor, have certain issues in common. You can't make the same argument for Hindu voters as a whole. Right, so it doesn't surprise me if at various moments in time, Dalit voters or Muslim voters have one preference which tends to dominate.
Precisely.
Right?
I agree.
So I don't think one needs to shy away from that.
I agree with you, but they have been.
I argue with that also. We should not look at the Delhi elections in terms of vote banks. You know, if you listened to the Prime Minister's first speech in Delhi at the Ramlila Maidan, how many times did he mention the word Garib? Some 43 times or something like that? So, I mean, obviously, when 60% of Delhi lives on less than 15,000 rupees a month, I mean, clearly every political party is going to try and reach out to the poor. I mean, I think that is only natural in democracy when numbers
this election, if the BJP loses, is basically people who are poor rejecting the BJP. That's how you'd look at it.
Well, I mean, certainly.
And a huge class of people who are government servants in the class 3 and class 4 sections, they've completely gone against the BJP because the norms have got tightened ever since the Modi government came out. And that section is
Arnab, even though the reality
government employees.
Kumar Ketkar, what do you think? You've been quiet on this.
Government employees will be against the government because they have been facing the flack from the government, from Modi himself, and I don't think government employees will tolerate
and
that.
Arnab, even if you saw
government employees are tuned to
Arnab,
certain
even
kind
if
of
you
style
heard
of work,
Prime Minister,
and that
he
style has been
discounted that
completely
58
stifled
years.
now.
Not just style, not just style. Simple fact, their overtimes,
That's what I'm saying.
the timings they were attending office, when they used to come and when they used to go, there was no check. Now there's a hard taskmaster sitting. So those sections have completely gone against the BJP.
Interesting. Interesting.
I also want
Sabha, and then I'll go to Sabha.
Voters rejected emergency.
You know, we always talk. In fact, I think the good thing about this election, and it's come actually, is that we haven't spent a lot of time analyzing the Muslim vote, for God's sake. You know, that so the articulation in this election has been less so than in recent elections in all our memory, where we all used were reporters, editorial opinions. And I just like to make the point, if Muslims, if it turns out they have voted overwhelmingly for AAP, it would be so along with other communities, because Muslims are often as divided as other voters. I just want to reinforce that point. They're not part of some grand conspiracy to outwit a party.
But no, it's not. No, I think you're getting it wrong. The reason we are analyzing is simply to understand what can change tomorrow. It appears to me, and I'll stick my neck out, that the Aam Aadmi Party is greatly dependent on a mass migration of the Muslim Dalit vote, which it was gaining in 2014. And though Ashish may not agree with me, what I'd say is, while the Aam Aadmi Party has already gained the confidence of these two groups, and these two groups are significant because they contribute a fair amount of the population, about 29% of the population of Delhi.
On the Chanakya suggested participation of these communities with the Aam Aadmi Party, then automatically the cumulative vote share taking 20% as a base goes to 39%.
Absolutely. Just to put it simply, if there is a 10% shift of these two communities' vote, it amounts to a 4.2% swing in favor of the Aam Aadmi Party. A 4.2% swing besides the other factors. Just Muslim and Dalits. Yeah. So that's like a 4% swing. Add on top of it sentiment. 10%. Add on top of it overall appeal. Add on top of it a little bit of anti-incumbency, and Sambit Patra, do you realize that the situation can get very tricky for you?
Sambit is not talking.
And Sambit, you're completely silenced. I'm perplexed. I'm worried.
Hi Sambit, how
Your tolerance levels for criticism have grown remarkably. Not that I have any complaints about it.
No, that was my weapon to wait. Patience is the word, and I was waiting that at least you remember that you have invited guests.
It's a new Sambit Patra.
I thought you had forgotten that you had some political guests also.
No, I have not forgotten. Yes, please continue.
Yes. Arnab, in fact, I was listening to the debates that you were conducting since about few days, and I gather one point. A singular point is that there has been a great shift of votes from the Congress kitty to the Aam Aadmi Party. This is what probably was being discussed by all your esteemed guests. So I gather this election is less about issue and performance and more about statistics. Well, yes, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and I believe tomorrow may be a different day. But the caveat is, yes, I cannot say no to the statistics that you are projecting. I cannot say no to the exit poll because...
can you win?
Exit poll for Bharatiya Janata Party, we accepted that. So today when you have bad exit poll for us, we cannot arrogantly denounce it. We will
now halfway mark is 35. Now halfway mark is 35. Thank you very much. I got the broad picture you're trying to present. That you are a very accommodative, tolerant and patient individual and party. And I compliment you for that, Sambit. I was missing it for the last few weeks and months. That's the only point I'm making. I welcome this. Now, Jay tells me that...
On a rhetorical note, I would say, if all the political guests would be like as we are today, then there would be no fun with the news hour.
Indeed.
Well, let me assure you, Sambit, if you were under any apprehension that I invite you on the program for entertainment, you are wrong. Now, the question is, the halfway mark is 35.
Not entertainment.
The halfway mark is 35.
To show and expose the opposition. Not entertainment, to expose the opposition.
No, 1 second. Why you are not in the opposition yet in Delhi? Why are you already referring to yourself as the opposition? Now the question is, what the BJP needs to do for 35. Nirja, welcome. Nirja, welcome. One of the headlines tonight is, Sambit is patient, tolerant, smiling, accommodative, and has a very, very patient ear, most importantly. I think Congress and Aam Aadmi Party will be in a state of shock about this. The question is what the BJP needs to do. What the BJP needs to do to get 35 seats is cephalogically this. The Congress has to lose 10% of the vote to the Aam Aadmi Party. Best case situation, cephalogically, for the BJP. But the Aam Aadmi Party in turn has to lose 5% to the BJP. Which means approximately one out of every 6 Aam Aadmi Party supporters has to switch over to the BJP. Nirja, you see that happening? You see one out of every existing Aam Aadmi Party supporters switching across to the BJP? Helping them?
I don't.
You don't?
Again, having talked around different sections, different parts of Delhi in recent days, and if you look at the Chanakya exit poll, it gives you community-wise breakup. And whether it's the Punjabi Khatris, whether it's the Banyas, Purvanchalis, they are more than evenly divided in favor of the AAP. So that means the AAP has had an appeal cutting across caste, community, class also.
Absolutely.
Therefore, I think I would say that we are headed towards a sweep kind of situation.
A sweep kind of situation. So we've looked at the mathematics of it. All of us seem to agree right now. I'm keeping myself detached from it for a moment, but most people appear to agree that we're heading towards a sweep for the AAP kind of situation tomorrow.
What's interesting is the BJP's attempt to woo a section of Congress voters to its side with the so-called Krishna Tirath card and all of this sort of, in other words, trying to appeal to Dalit voters that who traditionally are considered Congress vote bank, to go not to AAP but to the BJP.
That's like a desperate situation.
Well, and I think if Krishna Tirath, I think this would be a test of what kind of a support, what kind of loyalty does she generate in the city, and there may not be good news for her and the BJP.
Very badly. She lost very badly.
She lost very badly in the Lok Sabha polls.
Not only that, the Lok Sabha, in all the scheduled castes,
she lost her deposit.
Very close to the BJP.
Jay, I think your mic audio is not fixed yet, so I'm not going across to you very often. Well, the point is, therefore, if that is the case, Ashish, Priyanka, how do you feel, first of all, with this situation? The only reference to the Congress party today is in the context of who's trying to take away your vote. It's almost as if you're up for grabs, right? And the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party both are targeting your residual voters.
No, all I'd like to say here is all the sarcasm, all the criticism is only adding on to me getting more patient with time. And all the criticism will only help us grow stronger. Maybe Delhi elections may not go our way, but we will try and reconnect with our people again, and we will try to build that confidence again.
Well, you're being very modest out here. Before I go to my next question, I'd like Jay, to just I'll just very, very quickly introduce 3 of our properties which we are putting out tomorrow as part of our analysis. Jay, I think your mic's not hooked up yet, but yes, you can take me through it if you. Okay, so that's a sample. That's a sample of a spectrum, and the spectrum basically is, and this is the way to read an election tomorrow. There will be one line below which will tell you how many seats lean towards AAP strong, AAP mild, the swing seats, BJP mild and BJP strong, making the assumption that this is primarily a 2-horse race. And then later the bar above will light up. If you see a lot of breaches within this deep maroon belt of the AAP strong, for example, if you were to see a lot of saffron here, then you get a broad, immediate pictorial sense that the BJP is eating into the AAP strongholds. On the other hand, if you find a lot of maroon eating into, your yellow and your orange bands out here, it gives you a sense, and Jay, you can explain this, that the AAP is beginning to eat into each other's strongholds. So it's a visual representation. All you need to do is look at this graph, which is not going to be full tomorrow. It's going to start with a pure white bar, and then it will be filled up as the results come. So we expect by about 10:30, the bar above will be lit up. You'll get a visual sense. Jay, how does this, how does the spectrum help you?
It simply means what is Party A's ability to walk or run through the strongholds of Party B. So start with areas of highest strength of Party A. So Krishna Nagar is actually here. It's the #1 seat. And the Aam Aadmi Party strongholds like Sangam, Vihar and Devli and Ambedkar Nagar are right there.
The second, very quickly to go through, what you'll see tomorrow is called a firewall. Here's a sample firewall. A firewall is a visual description of a constituency where a party has won 3 elections in a row.
Right.
So you win 3 elections in a row, it's just going to come on your screen like this with the firewall, and it'll tell you who's breached whose stronghold. A firewall is important. For example, when you're actually looking at Congress seats or BJP seats, tomorrow I expect a lot of BJP or Congress firewalls to be breached if the Aam Aadmi Party were to do very well.
Absolutely. We are especially looking at a lot of Congress strongholds to be breached. For example, Sultanpur Majra, in reality, in the Vidhan Sabha, the Congress led there. In the Lok Sabha, the AAP took a lead there. So these are sort of seats.
So you need to look at the screen and look at the spectrum and firewall. We're going to keep repeating these properties as the election analysis goes on. And of course, then there is the cluster, because we here at Times Now believe you can't divide Delhi only into 7 geographical zones and 7 Lok Sabha constituencies. You have to look at the social and demographic factors behind a particular area. We have broken down several clusters. For example, we have a Purvanchali cluster, we have a Jhuggi Jhopri cluster, we have a cluster which is called AAP Not One cluster.
Absolutely.
And AAP Not One, for example,
is the seats where the AAP did not win last time. More interesting, we're actually tracking the AAP strategy of having defectors from other party. So there are 15 defectors from... you'll enjoy that tomorrow. So we'll have all those defectors being tracked live.
Basically, going to be the important one.
Basically, what we are, Jay and I are saying to you is that we will put the numbers, we will do live analysis as the numbers progress and give you a sense of not just what the result is, but why the voting has happened in these areas. For example, if we pick up a Punjabi Khatri cluster, or we pick up an outer edge cluster.
Outer edge is important.
We have a semi-urban cluster and we have a rural cluster. And we have a Jhuggi Jhopri cluster. Depending on the past performance there and how it figures out tomorrow, we'll be very quickly be able to get a sense of how things are going. But numbers matter, and the heat map, which is our last... Well, the heat maps basically, it's going to light up something like this in shades of yellow, pale yellow, right up to orange, for example, for a party like the BJP. And it's going to divide the whole city up in terms of how much vote share they got. For example, 0 to 20% is pale yellow, and deep saffron would be 35 to 40% plus. Now, what we need to look at is a bipolar race. Roughly, Jay, I think you need 33, 34% plus to be in a winnable situation, right?
40 plus in bipolar.
40 plus. 40 plus.
40 plus in bipolar.
So, for example, how does this work?
So this is beautiful. This is actually the Aam Aadmi Party's representation.
So we can zoom.
The heat map that you're looking at right now is the Aam Aadmi Party's representation from 2013. Look at the beauty of, how visualization helps track the numbers.
Absolutely.
It was weak all along the outer edge, the rural areas. It's when you look at 0 to 20, 20 to 30. Look at the shades, pale yellow and just yellow. The stronger ones, orange and red, are actually within the heart of the city.
East Delhi.
East Delhi,
New Delhi.
The heart. Absolutely. New Delhi and a little up there in Chandni Chowk.
Tomorrow, the challenge, for example, if you see Delhi turn a brighter shade of orange towards the edges.
Absolutely,
if you see this turn, then the story will be that the Aam Aadmi Party has really grown geographically. And here on Times Now, we'll give you a social demographic sense through our analysis and these 4 properties. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a brief introduction of the properties we are using. Remember, it's only on Times Now that you have analysis through properties. We use the firewall, the cluster, the spectrum, and of course the heat map, because as I never tire of telling you, 80s style election broadcasting is dead. The swing alone, I can tell you, is absolutely outdated. It's antediluvian in today's context. Question is simple. My next question goes to our political panelists. Ashish, do you believe the Aam Aadmi Party has outmatched the BJP in its strategic approach to fighting an election? That's question number 3. Ashish.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And Arnab, I can say with a lot of pride, actually, that the people of Delhi now will expect a different kind of politics. No matter which way these results go, the usual kind of political campaigning, I mentioned it on your show a couple of times, that where traditional political parties, just 15 days ahead of elections, they switch on their war machinery, put in a lot of money, put in their big leaders, carry out big newspaper ads, put ads on TV and radios, and think that they are going to win the election, is not going to work in Delhi anymore. We have raised the benchmark of political campaigning by going door to door, by going gully to gully, discussing issues, common man's issues, and even drawing the manifesto after wide consultation. We have made the common man a stakeholder in Delhi's politics, and that is going to stay. So this is where the BJP faltered. They thought that after winning the Lok Sabha elections, they are just going to come into election and they are going to take Modi around and do 5-6 big events, and the people of Delhi are going to vote for them. That's not going to work anymore. So that's one big difference.
Have they learned the lesson? If you prove to be right, then the question really will go to Sambit Patra, and he'll have to answer tomorrow. AAP was unwilling to enter into a personal fight. AAP was unwilling to respond to the anarchist jibe. Sambit, it really boomerang back. The Bhagoda charge. The ads and the cartoons targeting Arvind Kejriwal and his family. They worked on grassroots issues, smart caste strategies, working to the party's advantage. You were the ones on a daily basis running a Kejriwal-centric campaign. You got your strategy wrong this time. Sambit, at least you can admit tonight. And you can also respond to Ashish.
Arnab, first, each of my answer, in fact, is with the caveat attached that let us patiently wait for the result tomorrow. But having said that, let me answer both your question and Ashish's question. The answer to this is, I believe, I have been using a word since long in most of these debates, and you would have heard me. And today, thankfully, Arnab, even you used that word when you were explaining the very beginning of this debate, guerrilla tactics. The guerrilla tactics of Aam Aadmi Party has really been phenomenal in these elections and the elections before as well. They sprang up with number of abusers, accusing.
No, guerrilla tactics are not abusers.
Can I ask?
No, guerrilla tactics are not abusers. No, one second. Guerrilla tactics are not abusers.
Interjecting. Allow me to complete. I have my own thought process. Let me complete it. Thereafter, you can all counter me. What I mean to say is, if you say that we were the ones who started individual attacks on Mr. Arvind Kejriwal and people of Aam Aadmi Party, then I would rebut by saying that the Aam Aadmi Party's inception itself was on the basis of abusing and accusing. Every second day they took up people's names.
That's going for 2 years back. I'm talking about this election. Responses, Sambit, I have to take responses from the studio. Sambit, I need to take responses to this from the studio. Who goes first?
Does the BJP not believe, I mean, do you think what you expected your opponents to be polite? And what is guerrilla about a ground campaign?
Absolutely.
I believe Mr. Kejriwal did 120 rallies.
What was tolerable in a fledgling street movement is not tolerable in a prime minister of the country. Can't they realize that difference?
One second.
Nobody buys your argument. You're playing martyr that we didn't do guerrilla tactics. I mean, you must accept the AAP had an unconventional reach strategy. They got the selfie with Muffler Man. They got the AAP buzz. They got the Rang De Delhi. There were Delhi dialogues. There was personalizing of the campaign. And none of it they responded to you. You responded to them. Ajay Da.
And the AAP campaign was definitely more positive than the BJP's campaign, which was highly negative, directed at the personality of Arvind Kejriwal. And by doing so, firstly, it gained him sympathy, also built up his stature, and also lost you a lot of votes.
What was the need to put the ad?
The so-called guerrilla campaign was actually going to the people. He is referring perhaps to the Vietnam strategy. Vietnam strategy was going to the people. It was not guerrilla campaign in terms of throwing bombs. It was guerrilla strategy of going to the people, going to the jhuggi jhopri, going to the poorest of the poor.
I think regardless of the outcome, right, we still don't know what the result will be. The BJP did 3 things in this election, in its campaign, that I think are wrong. They're bad for Indian politics. They're bad for democracy. Number 1, parachuting in a leader over the heads of your local party cadre and party leadership. Number 2, getting down and dirty, running a campaign that personally targets the opposition's leaders in a very, very horrible way.
The campaign which is Sadda ke liye bachcho ki jhuti kasam tak bhi khao.
And the third,
for example,
the idea of throwing money in the form of advertisements and the wall-to-wall campaigning. These are 3 strategies which are bad for democracy.
Sambit, you've been out-strategized. The point being made is, within 8 months of the general election, you've been out-strategized. Navika is also coming in. Navika is also coming in.
Also, one very simple point. Arvind Kejriwal never once referred to Narendra Modi in any of his election rallies. Not once. None of their ads was centering towards the BJP or Narendra Modi, whereas the entire campaign the BJP ran was centering around Arvind Kejriwal, his failures, and the negative side of Arvind Kejriwal. Do you think that strategy has gone wrong somewhere?
Let's get Sambit a chance. Yeah, Sambit.
No, most importantly, what's the game of election? In election, in fact, the opponents
Is it a
have
game?
to expose each other.
Is it a game?
Please don't have to interrupt me every time. You don't have to interrupt me. Please understand what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that in election, the best strategy is to expose your opponents. And that is how every political party functions. And as far as Aam Aadmi Party is concerned,
Priyanka doesn't agree.
we had to expose the myth that they had built around the 49 days. The myth that everything in this universe...
Priyanka doesn't agree. Priyanka.
49 days.
Priyanka and Ashish are both coming in. Priyanka first, then Ashish.
That's the reason as to why. No, I have not.
Okay, Ashish first. Ashish, go ahead. Ashish, go ahead. Ashish, go ahead.
Janata Party was
Ashish, go ahead.
Where the Aam Aadmi Party had gone wrong.
A game we need to expose each other in, but then they didn't respond to you. What they don't respond to you, then the nature of the game changes.
I think the people of this country, I think people are discerning enough to understand the difference between exposés in public interest and personal attacks. What BJP was indulging in was personal attacks, caricaturing our leaders, heaping abuse and insult on us, and what we were doing was we were raising pertinent questions of public interest. Sambit made a point that our DNA is expose, our DNA is press conference. Today, a newspaper report vindicates us what we had been saying all along, that there are names of big fishes in the HSBC list, which earlier the UPA was shielding and now even the BJP is trying to shield. We have always raised issues of public interest, probity, corruption, integrity in public life. We never, once again, can I complete this? We never did anything where we made our entire campaign personality centric. Whether we were India against corruption or later when we became a political party. Black money, yes, we did exposes on black money, but they were not about individuals, they were not about individual entities, they were about the larger issue of black money. Two, when we raised the issue, when we did the expose on Satish Upadhyay, when we raised the issue of Satish Upadhyay being a contractor of Anil Ambani and installing meters, we raised the issue that look, you have a clear conflict of interest with the Bijli company. And you are also a political functionary, president of Delhi BJP unit, at the same time installing meters. So we raised issues which were in public interest. And what you did was all propaganda. We were never indulging in false propaganda.
Last year when you all were in the government, you all totally rejected the entire idea of attending the public day. Let me remind you of the fact
that
in spite of the fact that Mr. Narendra Modi was performing in Gujarat, in spite of the fact that country wanted Mr. Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal left from Delhi and went to Gujarat to attack Mr. Narendra Modi's credibility.
So we are talking about this election, not the Lok Sabha election.
Congress somehow
You had been attacking personally Mr. Narendra Modi. Only when you realize the powers of Narendra Modi that he is.
Okay, Priyanka.
And that is the advantage that Aam Aadmi Party is taking.
Priyanka, a lot of the results are due tomorrow. My fourth question, I quickly put this to the panel. Quickly put this to the panel. I'll get one answer from each. My fourth question is, will the BJP be ruining its decision not to call for elections after the Lok Sabha victory? I think yes. What do you think?
Definitely.
That's going to be the biggest factor.
Monumental blunder.
Monumental blunder?
It certainly should. This election has been all about the blunders that the BJP has made. Right from day one.
I don't think, Arnab, because they would not have won Jharkhand, they would not have won Jammu Kashmir, they would not have won Haryana, they would not have won Maharashtra. Having strategized one, with a clear-cut strategy, they went in for an election. They never wanted
along with that.
When Kejriwal went in, why did not they hold the election at that time?
One second. The BJP was at its peak right after the Lok Sabha victory. The BJP thought the peak would carry on for longer. How long is where they made the mistake.
That's not the only point. The point is the BJP was at its peak and the Aam Aadmi Party was at its lowest.
Exactly.
That is the other factor.
Kumar Ketkar, one at a time. Kumar Ketkar.
Congress did not exist. AAP was down and BJP was at the top. It was completely wrong to postpone the decision.
I agree with you. Ajay Bose.
We did a program, if you remember, you and me, about whether the AAP is coming apart. And I said, don't write off the AAP yet, if you remember. But that was the time when the AAP was seriously in danger of
Neerja, please. Neerja.
You know, it gave the AAP actually to consolidate at the ground level. They had their Vistar mission. They had specific groups to woo specific communities. Now, if you'd not given them that kind of time, the last 3-4 months, it would have been a very different story. But I want to ask Sambit this question.
Was it a case?
Was it a case of overconfidence by the BJP, or I would say arrogance, which reflected in all its decisions?
I think it's a very relevant question, but if I give Sambit the opportunity to reply to that, I'll go way over time. But I just want to add a caveat here. My question is always this. Remember, many of the BJP defeats in 2013 were wafer thin. Now, I'm only playing skeptic here and saying, just remember, a lot of the BJP defeats were wafer thin, which means they were close. Now, if the defeat was almost by a whisker, many of them. I'm putting this for statistical analysis. You can all say that it doesn't matter, the mood is pro-up, but they were by a whisker.
Yeah.
They weren't very bad losers. Where they lost by a whisker.
So it will be photo finish.
I'm saying photo finishes can't be ruled out.
The main thing that's changed, why the BJP has made such a big mistake, is that Narendra Modi was the man who was taking on the elitist Delhi thing. And now he's been upstaged at that role by Arvind Kejriwal.
Absolutely.
And by giving them, that is the key to this election.
Absolutely.
He was the anti-establishment figure, now Kejriwal has taken that
I need to give them a quick...
You can judge this election with traditional paradigms.
You've been saying that repeated. You've been saying that repeated.
Completely new mode.
Yes,
The one takeaway from Delhi will be that the BJP will desperately hope the Congress strengthens a bit. Otherwise, they are in real trouble in other places.
I've said this before. The BJP would be hoping that Rahul Gandhi does something to stay on for a little longer. Well, we've been talking to a lot of people. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for the response you're giving to our coverage. And I want to say February 10th is the hashtag, February 10th with Arnab is the hashtag trending #1 in India right now. This is the first time, even before I begin my broadcast tomorrow, there's been such an overwhelming response from so many of you. Many of you are asking me, can anything change on Tuesday? Well, I'll be here 7 a.m. tomorrow to discuss what happens. By 10 a.m., we'll give you a complete picture. Don't have to bunk office or not go to school or college, but track us wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Coming up at 9, is it going to be BJP versus all? If the Aam Aadmi Party wins, that's the all India picture we're interested in. That's the super prime time debate. I'll see you on the other side in a few minutes. Okay, enemies of friends appears to be a bit of the kind of political calculation going on right now. Atul Kumar Anjan of the Communist Party of India is delighted at the performance of the Aam Aadmi Party even before the results come out. Pawan Verma presumably is delighted because he thinks the BJP is trying to break his party, which probably is true. Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi represents them. Sanjay Jha jumps straight into the picture, sensing an opportunity for the Congress Party to survive, latches on to Nitishya and Lalu, so we are seeing a grand alliance come up. Sankarshan is keeping a very close eye on all this, and Mr. Shahid Siddiqui, who is joining the panel, found the position of the BJP opportunistic, probably in the context of the issue, that Imam Bukhari's, unsolicited support recently. So we are all keeping an eye at what's happening in Delhi tomorrow, including Kumar Ketkar, who stays on with me for this debate on one side. Ideologically, on the other side, I presume of Mr. Rajagopalan, who stands firmly with the BJP. Now, why this is all very interesting, ladies and gentlemen, is because the political cocktail that is beginning to build up nationally is what viewers are interested in. And I'd like to begin by asking Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi a fairly straight question. Sir, are you so nervous now ahead of the results in Delhi? Are you so nervous of losing? Are you so concerned about the exit polls? And are you so desperate to somehow avoid another election in Bihar that you are even willing to join hands with the person called Jitan Ram Manjhi, who you called, and I'd like to use the words that you used. I don't use bad language, but I'd like to repeat some of the words that you used to describe Mr. Jitan Ram Manjhi recently. Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, you called him a cheat. मैं अंग्रेजी में बोलता हूँ, इसका हिंदी रूपांतर कुछ और ही ऐसा ही होगा. Cheat. You called him immoral, a person who doesn't have morality. You called him unethical, a person who doesn't have ethics. and you called him a person who is taking Bihar to the dark ages. अंधे कुएं में ले जा रहा है जितन राम मांझी. उसी व्यक्ति के साथ आप आज उनके पार्टी को तोड़ने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. This is a big U-turn, Mr. Trivedi. Is it a result of your nervousness before the Delhi elections?
Arnab, it is quite unjustified to say that Bharatiya Janata Party is doing something on the eve of Delhi election with an apprehension of so-and-so, whatever your imagination is.
No, but you're helping him.
When the
you're
fact
trying
of
to
the
break the
matter
JDU.
is, this is the pure internal matter of
You want him to be Chief Minister?
It is a purely internal matter of Janata Dal U.
No, it's not.
Up till now,
he had a meeting with Narendra Modi.
Floor of the House. He came for the meeting of the Niti Ayog, in which various chief ministers come.
That's complete rubbish. Because after meeting Narendra Modi, he said, I have asked the Prime Minister to help us sort the crisis in Bihar. Please tell me, Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, is this what happens in meetings of the Niti Ayog? That Chief Minister and Prime Minister sits down together and tries to decide what kind of position to take on. Is the Niti Ayog a political forum?
No. The context of whatever the statement was, Mr. Jitan Ram Manjhi, was just to ensure the constitutional propriety in Bihar, not to be overtaken by the political agenda.
What does the Prime Minister have to do with it? Pawan
Other
Verma,
things are
flat
concerned.
denial today.
I would like to remind who resigned on the ground of morality. It was Nitish Kumar, after the defeat of 2014, resigned on the ground of morality. And as far as Mr. Jitan...
Sir, one second. Flat denial coming in. I'm going to look at this story from a developing political context. As I said in my introduction, Mr. Pawan Verma, appears to me there's a national realignment on the cards. And perhaps worried about that national realignment is one of the factors of what's happening in the JDU right now. Tell me, Mr. Verma, Sudhanshu Trivedi says he has nothing to do, no knowledge of what is happening in the JDU. You have an internal party problem. The BJP has nothing to do with it. Your response, please.
Arnab, it's been very clear for some time now that Mr. Manjhi is being propped up by the BJP and is in cahoots with them. The only impact this has had in the context in which you are framing this debate is that there has been an unprecedented display of unity of all those who are part of the alignment supporting the JDU today, where 130 MLAs were physically present wearing their badges at the Raj Bhavan to show that they are strongly united and that they are backing Nitish Kumar as the leader of the JDU party and to form the government. The fact that the BJP and Jitan Ram Manjhi have been together is no longer a matter of speculation, Arnab. This is the BJP template. In my own Rajya Sabha election, the BJP kept maintaining that it's an internal problem of the JDU, but subsequently it was completely revealed that they were the ones who were banking the handful of rebels. The rebels had a meeting in the house of Sushil Kumar Modi, covered by the media before they came to file the nomination. They then let loose such a display of money, power and horse trading that Bihar has never seen.
Admit it,
and this is what they are hoping to do now in Bihar by trying to get to power through the back door.
Admit it, Sudhanshu Trivedi. Uske baad I will open up the debate, because, you know, the more you do things like this, the more the anti-BJP alliance may come together. And by the way, let me tell you, Jitan Ram Manjhi called Narendra Modi a dictator, a kind of person who issues tughlaki firmans and tries to humiliate his colleagues. You know what he has said? He has said that he gave the Modi government 3 out of 10 after 100 days in power. He said Modi does not consult
on the two aspects which
he said,
Pawan Verma has said.
He said the Modi government is insincere about the special status issue only on the 1st of December. Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, I am now going to open up the debate. Ashutosh, Sanjay Jha, Atul Kumar Anjan, everybody will join in the debate. One last time I am asking you before I open up the debate, आप इस बात को मान लीजिए कि आप तैयारी कर रहे हैं ऐसे political future के लिए, जिस political future में BJP एक तरफ होगी और anti-BJP forces एक दूसरी तरफ होंगे. आप इस बात को मान लीजिए कि आप ऐसे situation के लिए prepare करें अपने आप को. उसके बाद मैं debate को आगे ले जाऊंगा.
On the statement of Mr. Pawan Verma, there are 2 points he has raised. One of the 130 MLAs parade, and other is the political involvement of BJP. One was a constitutional matter, other was a political matter. I will answer both of them.
Sir, on the you are doing what you tried to do with the Aam Aadmi Party. You tried to break the Aam Aadmi Party also. आपने आम आदमी पार्टी को भी तोड़ने की कोशिश की थी, जिस तरह से आप जेडीयू को तोड़ने की कोशिश
पूरा करने दें. In the 130 MLAs parade, I would like to quote the Supreme Court of India in the SR Bommai case has given a clear verdict that the trial of strength can only be on the floor of the House, and not only this, it is written in quote unquote that the level of strength cannot be the personal opinion of any person, even if he or she is the governor or the president. Quote unquote, I am saying. Then how can you say that just by parading in front of the Raj Bhavan, you claim that the strength is there, and it is also precedence is there in Uttar Pradesh in 97 and 98. We
I am not talking Sankarshan. Can we get realistic?
And even in February 1998, it was on the instruction of the High Court we have to prove. So constitutional matter is clear that you have to prove on the floor of the House. If you are having a strength, there is no problem. Why you are panicking? And the second question, the involvement of Bharatiya Janata Party. I would like to say one thing. In the initial stage, Janata Dal you deserted from coalition. Then they said that the people of Bihar is with them. The Lok Sabha election proved that the people are not with them, that the leaders are with them. Now it is proven that the Karyakartas are with them. Alliance partner to people, to Karyakartas.
All I'm saying is,
not justified.
Sudhanshu ji is absolutely right. I think the JDU has sought a floor test as soon as possible within 48 hours. They don't seem afraid of it. Mr. Maji has sought to postpone it to the 19th or the 20th, or he even said 23rd. And then, farcically, he says he has asked the governor for a secret ballot, which is, the most blatant kind of advocacy of floor crossing that I have ever heard coming from a chief minister. I mean, what is a secret ballot on the floor of the House? It's astounding. It's astounding. A chief minister going to a governor and saying, I want a secret ballot on the floor of the House. This, to me, as a journalist, is inducement to floor crossing.
Mr. Trivedi, please understand, people have different expectations, or used to have different expectations of the BJP. You used to say we are a party with a difference. Today, what are you doing? What are you doing, Mr. Trivedi? You use central agencies when you want.
Going back to
one second. No, Mr. Trivedi, you break political parties.
Constitutional right, whatever he wants.
You want to allow horse trading.
After the stand of governor is clear, we will take a political stand. Where is the problem? Where is the BJP's
The governor is not taking a position because he has to probably take commands from his Akas in Delhi.
Ashutosh,
the governor is coming to Delhi. He can't take a decision on his own.
Ashutosh,
and on the
Ashutosh, 1 minute. Ashutosh, Shahid Siddiqui, 1 minute. Can I please tell our viewers?
Said we have brought a Mahadalit. Now you are doing disrespect to him, and then you are saying now BJP is making an issue. It is you who made Jitan Manji. It is you who made the caste an issue. It is you who made the morality an issue. Now you are backtracking on all the three aspects.
Mr. Trivedi, please listen to me. Tomorrow the election results in Delhi are coming out. And people are saying whether it matters or not, Mamata Banerjee, JDU, JDS, Congress, unofficially I am telling you Congress, though they'll never, everybody indirectly has helped the Aam Aadmi Party. There's a consolidation of the anti-BJP vote. My question is to Ashutosh, because there have been allegations by them in the past as well that the BJP has tried to break the Aam Aadmi Party, induce people from the Aam Aadmi Party to join. This was the reason the Aam Aadmi Party said for the longest possible time the BJP did not want to call an election in Delhi because they were first trying to break the party. Why are you repeating your mistake is the question. And if this kind of mistake continues, will there be a consolidation of the anti-BJP vote? Ashutosh, how do you see it? Day before the results, more at a national level.
See, Arnab, this is unfortunate because what we are watching, that this is not the BJP 1.0. This is the BJP 2.0. If you see the Atal Bihari Vajpayee's 6 years rule, I think there was not very much effort was made to destabilize opposition governments. But here, Mr. Modi, who is a BJP 2.0, he is out to destabilize each and every opposition government. In the last 8 months, if there was no government, there is no representative government in the Delhi, it is because Narendra Modi didn't want a representative government in the Delhi, because they are not confident of winning the elections. Otherwise, on 26 May, he assumed that the charge of the Prime Ministership within 2-3 days he would have declared the elections in Delhi, and in the first week of July, Delhi would have gone for the election, and by now there would have been a stable government. But he didn't want. So what I'm trying to tell you is that this is a different BJP, a BJP which wants to destabilize each and every opposition government. And I can tell you in the last 8 months, the 4 serious attempts were made by the BJP to poach our MLAs and the Congress MLAs. And the whole world has seen the videotape where Mr. Singh Daga, the vice president of the BJP, was trying to lure our MLA from Sangam Vyad Dinesh Mohania. So I'm not surprised what is happening in the Bihar or what will happen in West Bengal.
No, my question is my question is simply this. I actually want to get Atul Kumar Anjan also. No, I want to get everyone in. Atul Kumar Anjan. Give me half a minute. Atul Kumar Anjan, Shahid Siddiqui. Okay, very briefly, Shankar, very briefly.
You know, let me just submit that we are speaking on a day when 5 or 6 MLAs of Babulal Marandi's party from Jharkhand have been whisked away to Delhi, and they'll probably join the BJP to provide that government more stability. It is just information I agree on the program.
I agree. What you're saying is the BJP has a hand in engineering defections in Babulal Marandi's party also. Okay, I take it as a point. My bigger question is, which I'm perplexed. Sir, 8 months back, you were winning 280 plus seats on your own. You have a full government. You know, with your allies, you have 2/3 of the Lok Sabha. You should be in a super confident mood. Why would you try and do this jod tod ki rajniti is something which perplexes me. The only fallout of this will be that the opposition will come together as one grouping. Atul Kumar Anjan, how do you view this from a national perspective? Shahid Siddiqui, I'm coming to you right after that. Atul Kumar Anjan and Sudhanshu Trivedi, please feel free to respond. Atul Kumar Anjan and then Sanjay Jha and Shahid Siddiqui.
Arnab ji, you have very correctly said at the very outset that till other day, the BJP leader from Bihar, Mr. Sushil Modi, Mr. Nand Kishore Yadav, and Mr. Jha, and many others, they were, you see, saying this Jitan Ram Manjhi is a great scoundrel, twister of truth. He doesn't speak truth. He is all sorts of bad name was given to him. And now all of a sudden a great love has been there. And I don't understand. The Prime Minister himself in Jammu Kashmir, while addressing the meetings, they said, अरे बाप बेटों की सरकार चाहिए, नो क्या बेटी बाप की सरकार चाहिए, नो इस बेटी बाप की सरकार से कश्मीर को मुक्त कराना है. And now with that बेटी and बाप की party, the PDP, they are aligning, and last 1 month they are having all sorts of parleys to have a joint government.
Now what's your point?
I don't understand why BJP is so desperate. My point is this party is unethical party. This party has, this Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi is a master. He has played with his own party leaders, and now he is trying his hands in other parties. I want to say, the way this party has proved, that the party has proved during the last 7 months, the way it has ditched to the people, the way it has
Ashutosh also coming in
this country, communalism in this country, communalism in this country. So I think there should be all people should come. And I tell you one thing, very important point I am making. The governor of Bihar, Mr. Kesari Nath Tripathi, may act the same way as the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, Mr. Jung, has played the game of the Bharatiya Janata Party in Delhi, restraining AAP and trying to break the AAP and not to form the government. The same thing will be happen in Bihar. So I think we have taken note of this, and we are very solidly.
Ashutosh, I agree what Atul Kumar Anjan is saying, because if you see the track record of the Narendra Modi, as long as the Narendra Modi was in Gujarat, the Shankar Singh Waghela and the Keshu Bhai Patel, the entire episode was engineered by Narendra Modi, and the Keshu Bhai Patel, if destabilized and the Shankar Singh Waghela rebelled against him, it was because of the Narendra Modi. When Narendra Modi was shifted to Himachal Pradesh, he destabilized Shanta Kumar there, and he got his own men. So Narendra Modi is a kind of person who cannot live without doing politics and politicking. And his own party, he did that.
Well, सुधांशु त्रिवेदी आपके पास तो जाऊंगा मैं, मगर संजय झा से भी सुन लीजिए कांग्रेस पार्टी का क्या रेलेवेंस होगा इसमें.
The Aam Aadmi Party is having such a strong fear psychosis.
Arnab, I want to give you one more example. Sankarshan, Trivedi ji, just a minute.
I'm coming to you, Shahid ji, I'm coming to you.
Trivedi ji, just 1 minute.
It appears to me today, it appears to me in this debate, it is whereas nationally it is BJP versus all. सुधांशु त्रिवेदी को मैं समय दे रहा हूं क्योंकि मुझे लग रहा है त्रिवेदी वर्सेस ऑल हो रहा है इस डिबेट पे. जी संजय झा, सुधांशु त्रिवेदी देख लीजिए इस तरह की राजनीति
आप इनको समय दीजिए,
इसी तरह का रिस्पांस
समय दीजिए इनको.
संजय झा
100 दिन के अलावा इनको 200 दिन दीजिए ताकि देव काला धन विदेश से वापस लाए. 200 दिन दीजिए.
Highly unprincipled political party. Sudhanshu ji, just let me give you one more example, to what Sankarshan mentioned. Even in Jharkhand, as we talk in Jharkhand,
Sanjay, what is your opinion about your own party?
Janata Party to break the Congress because. No, I'm just answering the question. They are trying to break the Congress party in Jharkhand because they have a coalition government.
No, it will be interesting. It will be interesting to know what you think about your own party.
This is the typical. No, 1 minute. Can I speak? Trivedi ji, जरा 2 मिनट शांति से सुनिए. उसके बाद तो आप ही का पूरा ये फ्लोर है यार. लेकिन I want to tell one thing.
Potential ally. Sorry, in Maharashtra, your potential ally. Sorry, that's not Trivedi.
In Maharashtra, if the Shiv Sena, let me tell you why the Shiv Sena has joined the BJP. It is an open secret in Maharashtra that they knew that they would be swallowed by the BJP, which was using their huge money muscle power to lure number of the MLAs in Maharashtra.
Come to the point, Sanjay.
They had their issues in Delhi. Ask them the question. Basically, the BJP today, as we mentioned in one of your panel discussions earlier, is trying to grow in an inorganic fashion. They've got political and financial muscle power, and they are trying to destabilize governments. And I think Jharkhand is already under target. Maharashtra, even today, Shiv Sena makes a lot of threats because Shiv Sena finds itself extremely susceptible to the kind of inner dealings that are going on in Maharashtra.
Will this work?
And I think the reason behind that is that BJP essentially is not organizationally strong.
BJP versus all.
You should know.
Shahid Siddiqui.
Yes, let me come in. Sanjay, with due respect to all the political parties, let me say that they have been as manipulative as BJP is today when the opportunity came, except few exceptions. They have all been playing these games in the past 60 years, especially in the 70s to 90s. And unfortunately, that politics of 70s to 90s, where governor was used by the center to manipulate the states to, go over the heads of democracy to manage majorities. Let me finish my point. And that was in 70s to 90s.
Are you trying to rationalize and justify Mr. Modi's conduct or the BJP's current political behavior?
Let me finish now. Let me finish. Today, in this situation, it will not work. It will rebound on BJP. It will rebound on Mr. Narendra Modi, because this India does not expect this kind of politics, manipulative, of Ayaram, Gayaram, buying. They were looking for a different kind of India, different kind of politics, and therefore it will prove to be counterproductive for BJP. They may succeed in one place or the other, but ultimately it's going to bring them down. So they must understand that they cannot point towards Congress what they did during Narasimha Rao regime, or point towards Samajwadi Party or other parties. They will have to create. And that's where Aam Aadmi Party will come in, because that's where Aam Aadmi Party is scoring on all these parties, incling those which are supporting them today because of political reasons.
Why would the BJP...
Aam Aadmi Party will emerge as a national party if they do not change their attitude and their style of politics.
1 second. Sudhanshu Trivedi, I'll give you full opportunity to respond. I have Kumar Ketkar and Mr. Rajagopal with me in the studio. The debate is working very well right now. I just want to put one question. Why would the BJP in this situation want to take on everybody at the same time? I mean, already there is enough trouble for them inside Parliament. This government has been forced to run through a series of ordinances despite having a majority in the Lok Sabha. If you have a situation where the entire national opposition now groups up against you, then your problems are only going to mount, especially in Parliament. Why would this government want to compound its problems further instead of focusing on how to win an election in Bihar? What's the point of trying to break up the JDU? Is it making sense, Kumar?
I don't think they have understood the logic of political events. When they anointed Kiran Bedi as the candidate for chief ministership in Delhi, did they know that such kind of situation is likely to emerge? It is the BJP which has gone in panic, and after the polls, ironically, whether you call them Bajaru, marketing, whatever, but they have gone in panic, and that's why they are behaving the way they are behaving.
You're
in
linking
Bihar.
what's happening in Bihar to what's happening in Delhi?
They are in totally panic mode in Delhi as well as Bihar, and have suddenly realized that Bihar, Bengal, UP, which they considered to be in their pocket. They thought after Haryana and Jharkhand and Maharashtra, UP, Bihar will be in their pocket. That logic has failed, and they have realized that now they have to regroup and reorganize, and they do not know how to go about it. You see, because they have used only muscle and money power to capture power.
Okay, fine. Yes.
The timing of Nitish Kumar's taking claim to become Chief Minister of Bihar has directly to do with that Kejriwal is coming in Delhi. Therefore, he wanted to occupy that space, and it is Narendra Modi's first instant in Patna. Since then, Mr. Nitish Kumar has been playing politics. Therefore, Narendra Modi is also playing politics. Why Nitish Kumar is in a hurry to become Chief Minister now, when Kejriwal is emerging? Does he see the opportunity of 2019? We should not give space to Kejriwal.
Shahid Siddiqui's
That is the real politics.
Shahid Siddiqui.
Nitish Kumar never wants to give politics to Kejriwal. He wants to take the center stage.
If it is dirty politics, then that is where aspirational middle class does not want it. The new India does not want it. The new generation does not like it.
I'm sorry. Raj Gopalan, this is not politics. This is politicking.
Ashutosh.
Of course. Ashutosh, let us debate it.
1 minute.
Let us debate.
Just a minute. Ashutosh and Mr. Rajagopalan, please. Ashutosh and Mr. Rajagopalan. Yes.
Ashutosh, let us debate it.
Okay.
What the BJP is trying right now is
scared of
Kejriwal. Each and every government. They are trying to destabilize each and every government. That's what is happening in Bihar. The same thing is happening in West Bengal. And the
Why
same thing
Nitish Kumar is in a hurry to become Chief Minister?
In Delhi.
Timing is important.
With the politicking.
No, you are trying to, Mr. Rajagopalan's thesis, Ashutosh, is that at some basic level, 1 minute, Ashutosh, Mr. Rajagopalan,
why we are comparing?
Mr. Anjan, I'm coming to you.
What the point of comparing them? There is no point of comparing.
Mr. Rajagopalan says,
Kejriwal
Mr. Rajagopalan,
party is supposed to get majority. Tomorrow things will be clear. Why we are beating day in and out Mr. Kejriwal and AAP party? Why we are
Chief Minister?
What they have done mistake?
Can I answer that?
Leave it. One
For
thing.
the same reason that Modi...
Then the point is...
Ashutosh should answer that.
Mr.
Ashutosh should answer that.
Back Mr. Mani.
Is he facing the threat of Kejriwal?
Gentlemen, 1 minute. Gentlemen, 1 minute. Only Ashutosh, please.
No.
What's it? 1 minute. Before all of you come in, Mr. Atul Kumar Anjan.
No. When Mr. Amit Shah said in the coming...
Amit Shah
said let him.
That in coming Bihar election, BJP will get 180 seats. Then why they are worried to back Mr. Manji? Why they are destabilizing the politics? What is the meaning?
This is...
BJP
No, Mr. Rajagopalan, 1 minute. Let the political party respond.
The
question goes to Sudhanshu Trivedi.
Ethics commission.
Mr. Anjan, you made a good point. Let me get a response. Mr. Anjan, you made a good point. Let me get a response. Mr. Anjan, you made a very good point. Let me get a response. And my question, which is coming from Mr. Anjan, is very simple. It is coming repeatedly in different ways from Mr. Anjan, Pawan Verma, Ashutosh, and everyone. And Mr. Trivedi should answer. I hope we have your agreement that let's get an answer from Mr. Trivedi. Mr. Trivedi, there are only 2 questions everybody is asking. 1 second, let me complete. You are a party, you want a landslide. Are you so nervous after the Delhi result that you don't want to face the people of Bihar? That you find that the only way of coming to power maybe in Bihar tomorrow is by breaking Jitan Manji, hoping that he brings the Dalit vote with him and grow, as Sanjay Jha says, inorganically. Have you lost confidence somewhere, Mr. Trivedi? Are you losing confidence somewhere? Which is why you are now resorting to the same kind of politics that was described earlier against Indira Gandhi as Ayaram, Gayaram. जोड़ तोड़ की राजनीति वो क्यों कर रहे हैं? What's Kumar Ketkar, let me get Sudhanshu Trivedi this point.
Are you worried that knives will be out? Are you worried, Mr. Trivedi, that knives will be out in the BJP itself?
Okay.
There are so many discontented elements in the BJP who will be now questioning Modi's leadership.
Let him answer. Let him answer.
Can I speak? Arnab, it is ironical and ridiculous that those parties who are not ready to go into the election are alleging that we are having any fear to face the public.
Who is not ready to go to the
Congress
election?
and Communists are making allegation on us? Because it is their mindset. Congress is targeting BJP of the opportunism for no reason from the figure of their imagination that we are involving in Janata Dal U's internal matter. It is the Congress party's typical mindset which has brought down several government and played politics from Charan Singh to Chandrasekhar, Devgowda to Gujarat. So they are looking from their own spectacles. Now come to the communists. Atul Kumar Anjan has said that BJP is opportunist party. One of the dastardly instances of opportunism were shown by communist parties, for even one of the communist parties supporting China during 62 war and supporting emergency.
No, we are not talking about China.
Telling us a lesson that we are doing this. Now coming to the Aam Aadmi Party. Now coming to the Aam Aadmi Party. Ashutosh is saying that BJP was trying to get Aam Aadmi.
No, 1 second. One at a time. Let him complete. No, you can't all speak together. Sanjay Jha, let him complete his point, otherwise none of you can be heard. Yes, Sanjay, let him complete his point. Sanjay, let him complete his point. Sanjay, let him complete his point.
Moving in a jhula. Ping pong politics he was doing. The same Chinese president, Mr. Same Chinese president was called at Gujarat. And Mr. Modi was moving a jhula.
The BJP.
Only Mr. Anjan and Sudhanshu Trivedi on the screen, please, otherwise we can't hear everyone. Yes. Now the question is,
on the issue of Bengal, you are saying that we are trying to destabilize. The Chief Minister of Bengal openly says, मैं देखती हूँ कौन बांग्लादेशियों को हाथ लगाता है. And then Bardhaman blast in which NIA says something and you are trying that BJP is trying to do something. In Sharda scam, you are up to the neck in the corruption. And if the investigation are going, you are putting a blame that BJP is doing something. In the same manner, Janata Dal U is unable to take the flock together. They were becoming the champions of Janata Parivar unity. And the fact of the matter is, forget
are you
about
threatened by it?
There is so much Maramar.
Pawan Verma, please, tell me, Lieutenant Governor, what game you played? What game you played?
Versus West.
No, what game you played in Delhi with the help of Lieutenant Governor? You forced the Lieutenant Governor to dance on the tune of the Home Ministry.
I want to ask
everything.
Okay, one second, question from Pawan Verma, please.
You are getting back.
Gentlemen, a question from Pawan Verma. Sudanshu Trivedi, जरा आपने जरा एक मिनट. Sudanshu Trivedi जी, जरा एक मिनट. मेरी बात सुन लीजिए. Sudanshu Trivedi जी, जरा आपने
Delhi, you used all third-class methodology using the Home Ministry.
Okay.
Try to
the debate. You have
try to bring the traditions. With the capital, the world saw you.
Mr. Pawan Verma is telling me, one second. Mr. Pawan Verma, on a lighter note, can I say something? Can I say something on a lighter note, please? अरे त्रिवेदी जी, जरा एक मिनट थम जाइए जरा अपनी धीमी गति पे आ जाइए. सुधांशु त्रिवेदी, आप तो बस सुधांशु त्रिवेदी जी, सुधांशु त्रिवेदी
चीन के राष्ट्रपति के साथ नरेंद्र मोदी झूला झूल रहा है.
Political murders in the decade of 70s.
अच्छा एक मिनट, मैं कुछ कहूं, कैन आई से समथिंग? ऐसे रफ्तार आपके जो विचार है आज फॉर्मूला 1 की गाड़ी की तरह इतने रफ्तार से जाने रोकना मुश्किल हो गया. जरा ब्रेक लगा लीजिए, एक मिनट, बुरा मत मानिए. सिर्फ एक बात कह रहा हूं मैं इस वक्त, और सवाल ये है. एक चीज, by the way, on a lighter note, Pawan Verma, you are saying moderate the debate better. I'm trying my best. I hope that you are not in a situation tomorrow, you or Ashutosh, when you form this anti-BJP front, if and when, that you can ask Ashutosh, he's been a TV anchor, tell him to moderate a anti-BJP front meeting. I'm telling you, Ashutosh will give up. So, Ashutosh,
you can't.
Ashutosh,
I know you are trying to trap a are trying to lay a trap for me, but I know that this is a question which will ask to me, not today, but day after, and then we'll have to answer this question. But let me tell you,
Ashutosh, listen. I'll tell you one thing. Listen to me, Ashutosh. Now you know that you've become a politician. I can't compliment you as a politician. I'm complimenting you as an anchor.
You should not take now Ashutosh casually.
Thank you so much.
He's not an anchor. Now he's an anchor turned politician.
I know he's an anchor. He's an
Mr. Rajgopal.
If AAP wins, Ashutosh will become Rajya Sabha MP
No, he says anchor turned politician. I only hope he remains an anchored politician. Now my question is to Pawan Verma. Pawan Verma, my question to you is this, and you and Ashutosh should not take this forward. Everybody has one question. Great idea, but it will never work. I know that in spite of your contradictions, Lalu and JDU were able to come together with the Congress and upset the BJP plans last year. But Pawan Verma, at a national level, you actually see TMC plus AAP plus JDU plus JDS plus Congress party plus Lalu plus Samajwadi party plus God knows who else. Do you think it can actually happen? I know you want it to happen, Pawan Verma.
No,
but you know it is an impossible. It is like Elvis Presley used to sing an impossible dream.
Arnab, now let me answer, Arnab.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, you are normally very prescient, but I think you are really jumping the gun. The fact of the matter is that there is a need to build and reinforce the index of opposition unity. Of course, it's an unfinished work. Of course, it must mean work in progress. Of course, it must mean discipline among the constituents, a greater loyalty to ideological frameworks, and an ability to coordinate and work together, and an ability to control too large egos. This is work in progress. But at least one thing we have showed in Bihar, and that is why I want to answer Mr. Rajgopal in particular. He kept raising this question. Why does Mr. Nitish Kumar wish to be Chief Minister now? I ask him, why is the BJP afraid if Mr. Nitish Kumar becomes Chief Minister?
That's a good point.
Here is a man, Mr. Manji. Here is a man, Mr. Manji.
Let him
Let me finish. Sir, let me finish.
Constitutional process.
Here is a man, Mr. Manji, whom they bitterly criticize. Here is a man, Mr. Manji, for whose Mahadalit status the BJP has developed a newfound love, but they are not coming out to openly support him because he has 12 MLAs. They are waiting from behind the scenes that if with their money and horse trading abilities they can break parties, and then they will come out and say, and meanwhile lead Mr. Manji up the garden path. He has 12 MLAs. As against 130 we paraded today.
On the issue of Mahadalit, I object to the statement of Pawan Verma that BJP has found a new
But with the return of Mr. Nitish Kumar, governance will be restored in Bihar.
And Mahadalit was
governance will be restored in Bihar, and the BJP is worried.
When the present Home Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh, was the Chief Minister, there was a commission which given a report, and it was implemented in July 2001.
Yeah.
So it was the Janata Dal U which copied the BJP's angle, our commitment to the most backward and most Dalit unflinching since last 15 years. Much before the JDU
not answer my question.
Fine. I think what's that? Sankarshan wants to ask Pawan Verma a question, but before that. But before I go to Sankarshan, I have a question from a national perspective.
That is called Ram Vilas Paswan. And now he wants a Mahadalit in Jitan Ram Manji.
Okay, so my question is to Ashutosh. Ashutosh, I'm interested in how you look upon this national perspective. The way I would look at it is, on the one side, 282 seats of the BJP. Whether you like it or not, Ashutosh, one ideology. Putting them together. An ideology you disagree with. The ideology of Hindutva. On the other hand, you have Samajwadi Party, accused of communalism, plus RJD, accused of corruption, plus JDS, plus INLD, Ajit Singh, I don't know if you agree with him, plus JDU. All of these parties, all of them decimated by the BJP in the representative states, amount to 15. Now, suppose even if the Aam Aadmi Party in a future parliament election, I presume, gets 7 out of 7, the total number of seats in the Lok Sabha of this motley grouping, not including the left, is some 25, 26. You get my point, Ashutosh. When you come together, does it have any political relevance? Is it worth it for you to come together? And are you only going to end up strengthening the BJP?
Arnab, I want to Arnab, this is purely a theoretical question, and this is
No, my question is to Ashutosh. I'll come to you, Sankarshan.
Because, this is the theoretical question which Aam Aadmi Party has to confront today, day after some time. Because if you see the Indian political ecosystem, it is such that if there is a hegemony of one political party, other political parties get together and try to dislodge the hegemony of the other political party. This is exactly what
But on what basis? What ideology?
There is anti-BJPism, anti-Congressism. Now there will be anti-BJPism. All the political parties which are opposed to the BJP will come together, that is for sure. Whether Aam Aadmi Party should join that, should help them out, or should go alone, that's a question which Aam Aadmi Party has to confront. And
but you took their support.
Has to find an answer.
No, you took Mamata Banerjee's support in Delhi.
Right now,
why didn't you reject Mamata Banerjee's support in Delhi? You know the Sharda scam charges that are there against her. Is corruption not an issue for you? If corruption was an issue for you, why did you not reject Mamata Banerjee's support for you in Delhi? Come on, answer at an ideological level, Ashutosh. Has ideology ceased to matter? Corruption ceased to matter?
So I tell you, these are the questions which are very, very important questions for our Aam Aadmi Party. We have to sit down and we have to decide all these matters. What I'm trying to tell you is right now we are not even thinking about on these lines. We are more worried about, or we are more expecting that what will happen tomorrow. But yes, as somebody who is in the politics, I can tell you, Aam Aadmi Party day or tomorrow or day after has to confront, has to answer these questions. Right now, I can't answer these
Sudhanshu Trivedi's counter question.
Not even thinking about it.
Sudhanshu Trivedi's counter question. Congress also coming in after that. Mr. Trivedi.
Can I ask
I can imagine what will be the scene when the so-called champions of austerity, Aam Aadmi Party, will be sitting along with the Lalu Prasad Yadav of Chara Ghotala scam, and Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav, SIMI is a cultural organization, and maybe to INLD, who was in jail. So the ideology will be corruption and
Sudhanshuji, we are not even thinking on those lines. No. Sudhanshuji, let me tell you the colors of all the political parties are the same. Whether it is BJP or the RJD or the Samajwadi Party or the Congress, you belong to the same political culture, and that is why Aam Aadmi Party has come into the picture. And Aam Aadmi Party is a challenger. It's challenging the entire political establishment, and it is because of the nature and the culture of these political establishments that Aam Aadmi Party is getting such a strong support in Delhi. So let me also tell you, don't be happy that Aam Aadmi Party is trying to choose between RLD and Samajwadi Party. In our opinion, there is no difference between BJP, RLD and
Arnab, I think there is too much of arrogance already coming in the Aam Aadmi Party talking about a different political culture. Ultimately, the proof of the pudding is going to be in the eating, Ashutosh, assuming that you win tomorrow. But I think, Arnab, there's a larger point. There's a larger point. The truth is that there are two national parties in India's political spectrum. One is the BJP, one is the Congress. I agree that they have 282 seats and we have 44. But if you look at the vote share, we were close to 20%, they were 31. It's not such a significant gap, although it has a huge impact in a first past the post system. So when we look at the future political scenario, I think there is no denying that there will be formations either closer to Congress or the BJP. I think willy-nilly, I think it's going to be, if the way the trend is with the love jihad and ghar wapsi politics, I think a lot of the other political parties on your channel today do pretend to have a secular plank. I mean, they have all been compromised at different stages.
What are you talking about?
But they will be tested under a BJP led by Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. I think that will be a critical factor going forward.
Are you making was that a sly at Ashutosh?
Mr. Sanjay,
was that a sly comment at
Why we are
Ashutosh?
making such type of things right now?
Still not willing to
I'm not.
You have to deeply introspect.
I'm just saying that going forward, some of the regional parties are trying to, express a huge political aspiration.
You see, this is the problem. One second. You see, Pawan Verma. This is the problem. On a serious note, you see, if people are watching a debate, they will say at the end of the day, Pawan Verma,
Arnab, when power comes, Arnab, when power comes, there is an arrogance. This is said it. जब खुदा हुस्न देता है तो नजाकत आ ही जाती है. उसमें क्या करेगा बेचारा आशुतोष? What he will do?
आप तो अभी से झगड़ा करने लग गए.
The point is this.
Arnab, you are asking me a question.
आप तो अभी से झगड़ा करने लग गए.
From starting.
नहीं, झगड़ा नहीं कर रहे. The issue is this. No, issue is this. Tomorrow. No. Main question, Arnab, is this.
आशुतोष कुछ कहना है आपको. एक मिनट. आशुतोष रिप्लाई कर रहे हैं आपको.
आप मुझसे सवाल पूछ रहे थे अर्नब.
अरे अतुल भाई,
the main issue is this. That tomorrow.
See, you should also realize that left
Kejriwal
has been left alone.
Tomorrow Kejriwal is going to give back and return back what he has received in Varanasi in the same coin in Delhi to Mr. Narendra Modi. बनारस में हुई हार को जीत में कल नरेंद्र मोदी केजरीवाल को वापस दे रहे हैं क्या?
मुझे तो लग रहा है आप अभी से सेलिब्रेशंस कर रहे हैं, मगर इस बात को याद रखिए, आई डोंट वांट टू बर्स्ट योर बबल. कई लोग ये कहते हैं कि आम आदमी पार्टी की जो वोट है आज, एक जमाने में ये वोट लेफ्ट के साथ भी, उसके काफी वोट लेफ्ट के साथ होती है. आम आदमी पार्टी इज ग्रोइंग बिकॉज ऑफ द ग्रोइंग इरेलेवेंस ऑफ द लेफ्ट. बट टू डू यू क्रेडिट, बट टू गिव क्रेडिट टू यू.
Electronic media with the exit poll, with their exit poll, they have made such a situation in this country. No. Such a psyche has been developed by the electronic media through its exit poll. You have made up the mind of the people in that direction.
Sir, please don't give us, don't shoot the messenger.
I am the man who always believes in the result. At the last minute I say something, not before that. But I wish that BJP must be defeated. That is my wish.
Okay, fine, Atul Kumar Anjan. Sankarshan has a question. Sankarshan.
There are various way of thinking and ideologies emerging on your debate itself, Arnab.
Sankarshan, yes.
Objectively, I was trying to say there has to be one center of gravity, one sheet anchor. In the entire days of anti-Congress politics, it
coming
was
out
BJP,
from what you were discussing,
which was having a nationwide organization and cadre was providing the center of gravity and the sheet anchor. But not. Today is nobody. I agree to Sanjay Jha. Then they have to come under the umbrella of Congress party if they want to have a nationwide some sort of structure.
Sir, if you think all these people will come under Rahul Gandhi's umbrella, then you are slightly mistaken. Yes, Sankarshan.
Arnab, it is for them to understand.
No, one second. If you think Arvind Kejriwal will come under Rahul Gandhi's umbrella.
Correct.
Someone or the other is prepared to just...
My problem, one second. I feel, one second. Mr. Trivedi, 1 minute. Mr. Trivedi, you see, I said on Saturday that it appears to me there is one party which is constantly cheering for Rahul Gandhi. Day in and day out, they are cheering, maybe even praying for Rahul Gandhi's continuance. And that party is the BJP. I stand today proven correct with your comment today on the Congress party. Sankarshan wanted to put a question. Sankarshan.
My question concerns a critical and very important phrase.
Very happy with that.
Oh God, there we go again.
Go on, Sankarshan.
Let us critical phrase that Mr. Pawan Verma used, the index of opposition unity. Now, the record of the socialist breed, brand, whatever you call it, of politician, at coming together, hanging together, doing something constructive together is, I must say, very poor. I mean, most of them are personality-oriented mavericks. And, they took an oath in the name of Mahatma Gandhi in 1977, the first non-Congress government. We know what happened to that government. They have done this time and again. 6 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, or probably 4, Mulayam Singh, Lalu Yadav and Nitish Kumar came together and said they have decided कि विलय होगा, they will submerge their identities into one Samajwadi Janata Dal. It has not come about yet. I mean, where is this so-called merged
Pawan
party?
Verma reply.
Why can
Pawan Verma reply.
What kind of confidence do you instill
Quickly, 2 points.
in your constituency when you can't come together?
He's got the point. Pawan Verma reply.
Stated.
Arnab, very quickly. The first point is that I entirely agree with Sankarshan that previous attempts of unity have been less than successful, which only means that we have to put that much more effort in it, and they cannot be based only on electoral arithmetic. In many ways, they will have to be based on a newer paradigm and have an ideological framework that anchors it. I agree with that point. Why the union between the SP, the JDU and the RJD have not taken place is because they have announced the intent, but the actual procedures are very complex, including a common symbol, merging of local units, etc. But that too is work in progress, and we hope we can do it credibly and quickly.
Yeah, Shahid Siddiqui, you have similar hope?
Arnab, for a change, I will agree with Sanjay Jha that, and Mr. Trivedi, both of them, that any alternative to BJP is to be led by Congress. It has to come under UPA. Whether Congress have Rahul Gandhi as its leader or someone as its leader, they will have to accept that if they really want to fight BJP. It cannot be under the leadership of Mulayam Singh or a Lalu or anyone else.
It is not under Rahul Gandhi. It might be under Sonia Gandhi, not under Rahul Gandhi.
And that's what they have to decide.
Siddiqui Saab, you must answer that also.
Anybody, it's for them to decide. Sorry?
It is not under Rahul Gandhi. It might happen under Sonia Gandhi.
But they have to accept this. But they have to accept this. They have to accept this. That they all have to go with Congress, and that is how it worked.
Well, gentlemen,
in 1989, the
Kumar Ketkar,
the BJP came together under to defeat Congress. And
Kumar Ketkar, you think that's going to be incentive for a leadership change in the Congress?
It is possible, but it will be very temporary.
Because I think it is wrong to compare anti-BJPism with anti-Congressism. Anti-Congressism has a completely different plank of politics, different ideological strand in politics. Anti-BJPism is totally different, and therefore anti-BJPism equalizes anti-Congressism is a wrong premise in the first place, and therefore, as Shankar Singh very correctly said, all these socialists or ex-socialists or current socialists coming together with different banners only on the plank of anti-BJPism will not necessarily work, because it has a completely different approach.
While we wait for the results tomorrow,
because politics is changing at the core level, at the sociological level.
While we wait for the results tomorrow, what
we need a new paradigm.
A new paradigm, says Pawan Verma.
Politics today, ideology is only a mask.
Nitish Kumar leadership.
1 second.
Kejriwal.
1 second.
I wish you well, but new paradigm cannot work with the old symbols and old cultures.
Pawan Verma says
new
today,
paradigm must create new culture. I don't see that is happening. New paradigm and old cultures will not go together. Again, Nitish Kumar, again Lalu, again Mulayam, again all these people coming together.
Arnab, I agree what Mr. Arnab.
Yes, Arnab. Mr. Ranjan.
Arnab, one thing is, BJP is having a certain political understanding. They had an economic policy, foreign policy, internal policy, cultural policy, educational policy. If we have to counter the BJP, I agree what Mr. Pawan Verma say. We must have an ideological, a counter, a very comprehensive program on different aspects which India is confronting. I don't agree
just couple of points.
Siddiqui is saying,
just 2 points before.
They want a depoliticalization of the whole society. They
just
don't
2 points.
Want, on the basis of the ideology, on the basis of program, some people should come. I think this will not give the proper result in this vast country where the majority of the people are marginalized.
Mr. Ranjan, I just want to make a couple of observations at the end.
Ideological orientation.
And my first point tonight is to the BJP.
Or whatever you call. But
my first point before I close. My first point before I close to the BJP, Sudhanshu Trivedi, I know the party is on a high, it's done very well. But sir, like nature abhors a vacuum, politics also does not like a status quo. Things change. And you cannot expect not to have any opposition. I saw Ashutosh come in at the very end. I'll give him the last word because tomorrow is the big Delhi election. It appears to me, Ashutosh, that this Delhi election, and this is point to everyone, is going to have a domino effect beyond Delhi. And that perhaps there will be some kind of a move. But at the same time, people remember, since you talk about JP, how the whole Janata Party experiment disintegrated when a grand alliance was mounted against the Congress. People also know all the United Front government survived only with external support of two parties. The BJP and the Congress had both proved to be unreliable partners. And therefore, people are not very optimistic. If you ask the voter of India today, are you optimistic about a motley group of people running the country? They're not going to openly come out and say, yes, we are. So you're going to have to work against that inherent sentiment.
Narrative to the BJP.
Yeah, you may call it. You may call it.
Under Nitish Kumar, not under Nitish Kumar.
Congress, BJP never supported United Front government.
Okay, Ashutosh, last word.
I know you don't like Nitish Kumar.
Last word to Ashutosh. Don't be Nitish Kumar focused. Ashutosh.
I completely agree with Mr. Kumar Ketkar that the old paradigm and the old history will not repeat again, because the victory of Aam Aadmi Party tomorrow will ensure the new politics, new paradigm and the new culture. If we are again going to see the same Nitish Kumar, Lalu Prasad Yadav, Mulayam Singh Yadav, I think that era is over. The new politics has to begin. The new leadership has to come up. The new paradigm has to be derived. The new political culture has to emerge.
Gentlemen,
unless we do that, because my worry is that BJP which used to call its ideological party is today completely de-ideologized. So BJP is also losing its identity in some time. So now the point is whether other political parties are willing to learn lessons, whether they are going to imbibe the new culture. If they
tomorrow after the results,
have a bleak future.
Tomorrow after the results, this debate will be even more important. I thank you all for joining us. And of course, a quick reminder, tomorrow, February 10th with Arnab is the hashtag on which you can give your various reactions. Follow us tomorrow on social media and on the television screen. I will be with you from 7 a.m. tomorrow. 7 a.m. tomorrow right up to midnight.